TruStack helped us move our server infrastructure from on-premise to a data center and virtualized. It was quite easy for me to identify that there was somebody that I wanted to continue that relationship with. So I was able to obviously speak to them and get that relationship going with them and make sure that they were informed of what I wanted to do with regard to the infrastructure and expanding it and improving it and making it more resilient. So initially TruStack had done a limited pilot with our housing colleagues, and they'd got a certain small number of people using the virtualized desktop infrastructure from VMware. And I recognised that it was very easy to use, but I was also conscious of the fact that the majority of care and support, which was say another 800 members of staff, couldn't use it. So if they visited our sites, they couldn't use that infrastructure. And I wanted to expand it to them. We had GDPR coming in at the time, so we had a very severe focus on our data being protected, and having a virtualized infrastructure enabled me to realise that security. And rather than having data at rest on devices, it was all put into our data centre and moved around with our users. And so back in 2017, 2018, I made the decision to move the whole organisation over to the same infrastructure and to expand it to make sure that everybody was using the same thing, and moving all of our care and support onto VMware Virtual Desktop. So TruStack had analysed our network and made sure that we had enough capacity to be able to expand our VDI environment. They were able to check that the data that was needed at each site was enough to make sure that we had an optimum experience. And one of the other things that TruStack were able to do as well was check that we had the resiliency in our infrastructure to be able to support expanding it by 4 times what we already had. I was very certain that I wanted that resiliency so that if one of our hosts failed, we'd have another one that would be able to pick that up. But on top of that, if 2 hosts failed, we also wanted to be able to cover that as well. So we were N+2 after TruStack recommended that for us. So I think we managed to do it in about the space of, I want to say about 6 weeks, to get all the organisation from their old machines onto VMware. We had a couple of engineers going out to various sites, and on that day they would build the client quite easily with a USB stick onto all the machines and then go on to the next site, so that instantly that site was then able to access VDI. So what we tend to do is a kind of trainer. Usually my team manager, Manpreet, is the person that will work with TruStack on the technical solutions, and then that will then get filtered down to the team, and we'll have a session and show them exactly what they need to do with regard to the actual aspect of it. So actually my team's pretty much the same size as it was when I started, even though the actual group have grown, the team managed to stay the same, just because the tools that we've now got available mean that we can actually deal with them a lot easier and have that back and forth regarding technical solutions, so that they're able to help the business with any queries that they've got, really.